All right. Good evening, beautiful people. It's your host, Drake B. Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast with a purpose. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, we are here with y'all with another Sunday night live, where we go live every Sunday and we chop it up with our audience, our community, our guests, our folks, y'all, about what's been going on in society, what's been going on in our lives, what's been happening with the pod, and all these great things. But it is March 1st, 2026, and thank y'all for being here. If you're listening to us later, if this is your first time here, welcome. Once again, I'm Drake. This podcast is built on the pillars of respect, communication, and consistency. Our mission statement comes from the words of Dr. Martin King Jr., which is he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we have miscommunication. So thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for coming through. Hey Blake, how's it going? Make sure to share the live, tap the screen, leave a comment, engage. Don't be no stranger. This will be re-released on the podcast later on this week on all streaming services. That's including Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, however you call it, Podbean. Anywhere you type in everything culture, you'll be able to find us. And it is thing, not thing. It's a, no I. But how are we doing? How are we doing? Leave it in the chat. Let us know. Of course, if you want to stay on until we finish with the stream, we will be chopping up about these things again in the privacy of our each other. Okay. But thank y'all for coming. What's going on? We are 60 days. Hold on. We are 60 days in 2026. Are y'all keeping up with them resolutions? How is it coming along? How y'all doing? Are y'all? We didn't do resolutions. We did. What did God put on you to complete? What did God put on your heart to do? Are you doing what God's telling you to do? Yeah, you handling the responsibility that's been put on you. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Hey, it ain't nothing. Yeah. If you ain't, it ain't about me. I didn't put the resolution on you. I didn't put the responsibility on you. I'm just checking to see if it's how's it going. My mind going well. Mine going well. I'm doing better than I was doing last year. I'm applying myself a lot more. I am absolutely grateful for that. I am. We got some more good news coming. Just stick with us. Somebody at the front door, y'all excuse that. We working in the facilities today. But yeah. This year has been exciting. It's been busy. It's been a blessing. And I'm just taking it step by step all the way through. And since we met last week, oh my goodness, what has happened? What's been going on? Um, when I was sitting back thinking about what to discuss tonight, so many things came to mind from experience I've had throughout the week, as well as just things I've seen. If you're aware, oh, I ain't even live on IG. I did this last time. Hello, IG. How y'all doing? Welcome in. IG a little different. This is new for some folks. Some folks will come in. They don't say nothing. Well, IG people on IG do. They hit me up later. Yeah, I saw you on live. Why you didn't say nothing? Why you come in? Wave. Say hello. Leave a comment. That's all it takes. But I understand people be busy. People be going to live accidentally and all that. So I absolutely understand. But I'm here. I would love to hear from y'all. That's what we do it for. But overall, man, it's been a very interesting week. Personally, I've had some good news and some changes. I'll let y'all know when things a little bit more confirmed. All right. Um, Rest in peace, Gucci. If my family seeing this, my sister's dog of 19 years have passed away. Man, I'm gonna pull one up for the Gooch dog, man. Like 19 years for any a pet is wild. And Gucci rode with us all the way through, man. So, me and Gucci had our differences at the beginning, but we reconciled those differences and we became locked in. Became a little bit more, we both matured in our age, you know what I mean? But we had to lay Gucci to rest this weekend. So rest in peace, Gucci. Love you, Ashley. Um, What else? Shout out to the Asbel. Shout out to my brother Donnie. He was able to come down and visit this week. We was able to be great hostess. The Drakes are always are and is. We have been able to. I was making some significant changes in our community and changes. Church was great, of course. Had me a great nap today. Shout out to them cut waters. I had my first cut water. I see what the big hoopla is all about. They really about that action. They taste good and they hit good. What else? What else? We talked last week about New Orleans. Great time. Still putting up pictures and photos. Y'all gotta bear with it. We still have to do our reviews on the restaurants we went to. And yeah, it was everything has been an experience. I would say that. So I would say other than that, it's just what's been going on in the news. It's been Curtis, 50 Cent. What's Curtis' last name? I can't even think 50 Cent's last name right now. But versus the whole Harris family, T.I. and his children has been leaving licks all over that man's head. And I support it. I've never been, I ain't gonna say I've never been one for 50 first drop. Get Rich or Die Trying. I was a huge fan. Everybody loved the album. I don't know anybody that don't love that album. But he's a big messy boots individual. Okay, thank you, Mia. Super messy boots. Okay, that's just who he is. Always been like that. What's up? What's up? And I appreciate when people get their comeuppance. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. That's how I feel. It's been due time. How he just come and attack a lot of, how do we say, us, for whatever reason he comes at us that he does. So I'm enjoying this. The music has been good. It's been funny. I hope it don't get too serious. Okay, but yeah, I'm enjoying that. I know, but people, humans, we be messy. I see that. I don't know. Both sons dropped the album Ti, and they trying to say the other one that plays the guitar and does more on the rock side dropped the album. I don't believe that. And somebody, but they put out an AI version, and he has had to come out and say he didn't do that. Like y'all, I don't love Petty that much. Okay, Petty but got Petty. If you enjoy it too much, you're gonna want to do it, and then it oversteps boundaries. Y'all know how we feel about AI here with everything culture. Dude, we down with Sarah Connor. All right. If y'all don't know, now you know. But do people? I don't know. Like I wouldn't, other than Aubrey Graham and Kendrick Lamar. When was the last rap beef? Do people still really beef like that anymore? Is that still a thing? Over mics. Somebody's been saying so well. It really has gone towards memes and joking online. So yeah, I don't know. Should people just change their, I want to say, their goals? They're more on social media influencers rather than rappers or artists anymore. But hey, everybody got their own thing. They go do their thing. So who am I? Okay. Going into, want to say congratulations to the artists and everybody who played a part in Sinners, the film. The Sinners are still winning. Last week, what did we talk about last week about the? It was crazy. Well, I know we talked about last week about racism, oppression, and the illusion. We talked about the African diaspora and how people disrespect Black people so frequently, but we didn't talk in detail because I think it was actively. It happened earlier today. I didn't know about it. Shout out to my brother Trey. He texted me while I was doing the show, but I wasn't able to look at it. And it was about that I watched the BAFTA awards or whatever BAFTA's about, okay? And how oh my god, Michael B. Jordan and was it I don't even gonna mess up his name. Is it D Lin? I don't know, Delroy Lindo. How they won, and then the individual that had Tourette's blurted out what had a tick and yelled the N-word. Okay. Now, when I first saw it, it's okay, Mia. We love you too. Go ahead, get your rest, get your rest. But made but the thing is, it was a big thing about this because right when they got up there, you yelled the N word. Now, first thing I said was like, oh, that was an accident. Okay. Whose last name Jackson? Whose last name is Jackson? Did I mess up somebody's name? Who you talking about, Jay? His last name Jackson. Who named it? I know I messed up somebody named then. Oh, Curtis Jackson. That's his last name. Shut me up. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Is it? Okay, shut up. All right, but the thing is, I'm a person that I'm putting out content. I'm putting out material. And I know when people come on my show, I usually ask them before and I check with them after, do they feel comfortable what's being put out at times. And that's in case I can edit things going back and forth. And it's just little me, just moi, producer of one, me and the devices I have in front of me right here. Okay. So if I was hosting, if I was hired to not only produce and then producing this editing, reviewing everything, and putting out to the general public of a platform such as BAFTA, anything on this reward ceremony at that large scale, you would think, you would absolutely think, I would assure to edit out when somebody accidentally, hold on, let me accidentally blurted out the N word or any type of obscenity. Okay. So I put a lot of responsibility on BAFTA. If we want to put the responsibility on the individual, I think a simple apology, my bad, that was not my intention. This is my disability. Keep it shaking. I think I would suffice with that. If some people ain't gonna be like that, I could be okay with that. Okay. But that didn't happen either. But then when I found out with BAFTA, they was editing other things, but they didn't edit that out. I find that just listen to last week's episode. It goes hand in hand. It is so connected. It proves my point that people are extremely comfortable disrespecting black people. That's the goal, is to continue to minimize the great things that we do. That was the conversation we had last week. And we'll keep it sliding on to this week and what we're talking about. But I just want to bring that back up, that it's not a coincidence. It's not a what? And we're tired of dealing with the what? We're tired of just letting it go. I absolutely understand, but that has been one of the, just like apple pie and the white picket fence. I believe, and it's not my belief, it's been historically proven and recorded that minimizing and disrespecting black people is a American and worldly thing to do. Once again, that's a conversation. If y'all don't believe me, come and talk to me about it. We'll get an understanding for it. I'm all for it. But tonight, I want to talk a little bit about freedom. Okay. So, and when you hear the word freedom, what is freedom to you? There's no rush to answer this. If you're listening, if you ain't able to respond right now, that's okay. But I want to know, to you, what is freedom and what does freedom mean to you? Mm. Freedom is, to me, okay, that before I even read or look up the definition, I'm gonna look up the definition. Freedom is just having the ability to do what you want when you want to do it without harming others. And I put that in there. My freedom shouldn't impose on other people's freedoms. From freedom of speech to freedom of moving around as I choose to move, living where I choose to live, working. But once again, the take care of freedom comes in different ways and different sizes. Freedom, I believe I said before, freedom it goes hand in hand with joy and it goes hand in hand with peace for me. But what does freedom mean to y'all? I'm gonna look real quick. It says freedom. This is from Wikipedia, by the way. This is something quick. Nothing. I didn't too much. I didn't do too much detail on it. I can bring it back. But freedom, liberty is linked to human subjectivity. Freedom is not. The Declaration of Independence, for example, describes men as having a liberty and the nation as being free. Free will, the quality of being free from control of fate or necessity. Ooh, like that. May first have been attributed to human will, but Newtonian physics attribute freedom, degrees of freedom, free bodies to objects. I'm gonna go ahead and go and open the dictionary too. Freedom, the power or right to act, speak, or think as one's wants without hindrance or restraint. Absent of subjection to foreign dominance or despotic government. The state of not being imprisoned or enslaved. The state of being physically unrestricted and able to move easily. Freedom form. The state of not being subject or affected by a particularly undesirable thing. The power of self determination attributed to the will, the quality of being independent or fate, a necessity, an unrestricted use of something. All these things mean freedom. What's up, my brother Jared? Hey, man, we need to chop it up. We need to get together, man. For real. For March. I want to see you in March, man. I want to see you in March, man. Love you, brother. I got to get out here and see my folks more. But we talk about freedom, man. What's up, Blades? What's happening with my guy? I'm sorry, I'm jumping all around, making sure I'm seeing all these comments here and there. Y'all, thank y'all for bearing with me. I got 4 different sites we streaming on, but I saw that, man, because people thinks human nature try to restrict other people's freedoms, and it's like it's a fight, almost like good and evil, freedom and oppression. Those are 2 things are consistently clashing. What I'm observing in life. Either men trying to oppress women, men trying to oppress men, women try to oppress women. you know, people try to oppress people of their social economic status. They try to oppress you over your height, your weight. They try to have control of you over something. I'm seeing that day to day. And I always ask people, like, what does freedom look like to you? We could talk. We talked about liberty just a second ago. I can talk about rights and responsibilities, but freedom. When you're free, how does it feel and what does it truly represent? When you're free, do you have responsibilities? I believe responsibilities are needed for everybody, but does that mean you're truly free? When you're free, what does rights look like? When you're free, do you have connections to other people? Do you have foundation? How strong is this freedom? What level of freedom do you have? Because when you have relationships with other people or relationships with things, it tethers you to that person, that group, the objective, whatever the case may be. And that kind of restricts your freedom because now you have a obligation to something. And having obligations really doesn't represent freedom or, in a certain sense. But I do believe in freedom not being oppressed. And I believe that freedom is having the option rather than being forced. I think that is really the thing that how I would say that. It's not something that is enslaving you to it. Once again, it's a something you step into. It's a choice that you make. When you don't have a choice, that's when it goes into lack of freedom. That's full restriction of freedom. Yeah. And I talk about this, and it comes to mind. I had a peer of mine, a good, really good friend, express that how I speak about certain things. I'm a little harsher on one group than another, and I fight back like with everything culture. That's the point I do this. I bring all points and sides, but at the same sense, I have a higher expectation from one group than another in closed doors. Like, for instance, I have a higher expectation for my family. I have a higher expectation for me. And some people may be hard. No, I'm not being hard. I just know what we can do and what we're capable of doing and how we make excuses. And I always start with me. I want to be clear about that. I start with me. I was listening to Viola Davis, Viola Davis speech at the NAACP award. How do y'all pronounce NAACP? How do y'all say NAACP or do y'all say NAACP? Y'all let me know that too. But it came about when she made a point that hell on when you have hell, when your life is gone and expired, hell is when the person you could have been meet the person you became. Mm. And I'm like, dang. And I've talked about writing a book before, little something sci-fi fictional, maybe turn into a series about three different options, three different me's. Like my current life I have now, a life that I would have chose, I probably would have became if I made a choice here, and a life I would have had if I made a choice here. It's almost like a multiverse of me, but we ain't got time to get into that. That's how my brain works. But I believe, like, if I didn't do this, if I didn't make this decision here, if I made a mistake, if I didn't pick myself up here, or if I just stayed down this situation, if I never took this job, or if I never went to college, if I stayed doing this, what would my life look like? But yeah, those are the things that go through my head, which I don't mind. But Viola Davis said that so well. And once again, shout out to Sinners again for all the awards that they won. I think they won 13 awards on, let's see, they won everything from the best original score, best soundtrack, best actor, Michael B. Jordan, best entertainer of the year, Michael B. Jordan, best supporting actress, Wuni Mosoku, best supporting actor, Delroy Lindo, best breakthrough performance, Miles Canton, best assembled cast, best writing, best directing, best cinematography, best stunt assemble, and outstanding film. They won all that. Okay, and they got their love that they deserve. And going back to that connection, I know when we step outside of our community, we deserve to get the respect, but so often we don't get the respect. It's a blessing that we can come back home and get that respect. Because sometimes you don't get the respect at home as well. And I don't believe I'm gonna have the time to talk. I want to put more time talking about that. Is that crossover that crossing over success to that homegrown success. We gonna bring that back next week. Y'all put that in there. Y'all put that in your hat. But when it comes down to that freedom again, I was looking at J. Cole. Y'all know I'm a J. Cole fan. If you don't know, I am. I think J. Cole made one of the best decisions during that battle of 2020. Was it 2024? Whenever it started, he made the best decision to step out of that. Yeah, I can say what y'all want to say. He made a great decision. I don't want none of this. I don't want no smoke. I didn't listen. It's like all you and all your friends like slap boxing, playing around, and one of them hit the other person too hard, and you like, ooh, y'all ain't playing. This. I thought we were playing. I thought this was cool. I thought this was a friendly squirt. Y'all really throwing punches. Nah, I'm good. Y'all got it. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. All right. I think that's wisdom right there. But I say I did say this. So J. Cole has been going around, and it's crazy. I talked about this last week too. I referred it. I referenced it. All right, that he's been going around selling his new album out of I forget what type of vehicle it is, out of an old school car, the car he had in college, and he's selling the CDs out of the trunk. He's taking it back. All right. He got a trunk load of CDs, and he's signing autographs, he's meeting people directly, and he's chilling. And not only that, he's been known to just be driving around or riding around the neighborhood in like bicycles. He lives a very quote unquote down to earth life. Okay. Joe Budden expressed his car broke down. He said that's the best thing that happened because he hates him riding around, playing around like he's poor, like he doesn't have the money that he had. Someone else expressed that J. Cole is cosplaying being poor. What? Huh? Cosplaying being poor. Going back to that freedom, where people will try to put you in the box they want you to be in, no matter what that box may be. It's the box. Don't isn't that an option when you have enough money, you have the freedom to do what you want? That is that the goal? That don't make sense to me. Because he's not having once said he was broke. He ain't once said he ain't got it. And if the thing is, if y'all want him to relate or not relate, y'all ain't gonna like him. Like y'all just, if you don't like him, you don't like him. That's what I look at. Because he should have the freedom to ride around whatever he want to ride around in. He has the freedom to ride a bike if he want to ride the bike. When the hell, if you make over a certain amount of money, you can't do this anymore. And I believe him selling CDs at the back of the trunk is more than just a point to say he ain't got it. It's a point like, man, I'm trying to show, like, I appreciate taking me back a little nostalgia, how things used to be. And he probably get a lot more connection. Listen, that's what Slim Thug and Chameleon, a lot of them say. With already platinum before he came out with the album, you will make so much more money selling it yourself, your own distribution, rather than going through the streaming sites and getting paid pennies. That was my understanding. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? That was always a thought of mine of when you doing it yourself, you want to have, and he's trying to build a connection with his main supporters. Why? But people go hate. People go hate. People go hate. But that goes back to that freedom once again. When you do, especially whatever people will restrict you because your color, your skin, your gender, your nationality, whatever the case may be. But for someone that has the money, has the connection, and he decides, I want to just go and do this, and people are telling him, nope, you got to pull up in the house, you got to pull up in the Maybach, you got to pull up in your Royce, you need to take a helicopter there. You don't need to be talking to those people. That's what I feel. What? Who are you to tell me what I can and cannot do? Crazy. But Joe Budden been a hater. Y'all know that. Ain't nothing new. If you don't know, you lost. In all the way in the sauce, man. Oh my goodness. We're gonna be closing this out real soon. You know, we just come in for a little bit on Sundays, not too much. Last week was a little bit longer. Check out the rest of the episodes. But we're at war, y'all. I don't like touching on the politics too much. All of this could be prevented. I'm a person that I believe in fighting. I believe in war when it's necessary. I believe in fighting when it's necessary. But the whole point of this platform is try to bring love and peace and understanding. We have someone that's in a position that doesn't represent those things. Respect, communication, and consistency. That does not exist in our administration right now. I still want to see the rest of them files. I want some justice to come. I want some ramifications to come. I want our legal system to do what they should do. I always say it was to do, but it's just showing that it's so much corruption that's happening right now. And I hope this war that we in does not distract that the war that we're dealing with here, the true war that's happening. And I'm gonna keep it at that, man. Praying for my folks all over that's in the military. I'm praying for the people who are in Iran, the innocent people, the people who are just trying to live life and be the best thing they can be on this earth. I know we get so distracted and from the film, entertainment, whatever your case may be. But when anybody lose their life, it's a tragedy. Not because of what country they come from, not because of what type of food they eat, what type of music they listen to, what type of religion they may worship, not what type of color of skin they may have, what gender they are, who they love. People should have the opportunity to live. So, hope in the next week we see each other and that we're all safe. If you have family over there, I hope they make it back safely. If you have friends over there, I feel the same way. And I hope all this stuff it comes to resolve peacefully, possible. And I hope the people who are in power will understand their wrongdoings and own up to their mistakes, own up to the things that they've done intentionally to hurt people. And I hope once again justice will come. I appreciate y'all being here. I love the conversation. Okay. And yeah, we'll be checking with y'all later. I am Drake with Everything Culture. And y'all have a great one. Peace. Mm, 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 mm.